Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we have not been that much active the way we have always been. The reason is that I'm having a problem with my laptop, but I'm trying to sort out that issue to make sure that we maintain our consistency on this punchline. Now, so many issues are coming out after William Ruto and Gachagua have been facing resistance, rejection, heckling in most of their rallies. We are now seeing the Interior CS Kindiki coming out to give a stern warning to Kenyans who have been heckling William Ruto in his rallies. And we have seen the heckling taking place in Bungoma, it happened in Kericho, it happened in Bomet, and it is becoming a norm. With this move, the government is not happy. Ruto is directing Kindiki to warn Kenyans as far as the issue of disrupting his meetings in what he's saying is concerned. So if you attempt to heckle Ruto, if you attempt to disagree with William Ruto when he's lying to you, then you are going to be labeled as a goon, heckler, and you are a thug. For that reason, you are a criminal. You should be arrested for disagreeing with William Ruto's statement when he's addressing the crowd.
We have noticed with concern an increasing tendency of intolerance among political leaders, and we are asking political leaders to conduct their politics within the law, and they must maintain the peace in their political meetings. No person is allowed to disrupt public meetings, to use goons, to mete out violence and harass members of the public. Politicians are allowed to differ on ideologies, programs, policies, and viewpoints because our constitution allows multi-party democracy. However, no politician of whatever stature is allowed to use violence, goons, and other criminals to harass, intimidate, or incite the public against each other. And I have left very firm and clear directives on the Trans Nzoia County Security Committee to be firm, ruthless, and merciless on all people who sponsor, finance, encourage, support, aid, and abet goons and political thugs who go to disrupt meetings organized by people of a different viewpoint, and it doesn't matter whether the organizers and sponsors are pro or anti-government. We will crush them equally, and nobody is above the law. I repeat, for the avoidance of doubt, nobody is above the law, and all politicians must do their politics within the law. They are free to disagree with each other. They are free to have a different opinion, but they are not free to use criminals to harass, incite, intimidate, or disrupt public meetings. And this hooliganism and disruption has taken a life of itself, not just here in Trans Nzoia. You saw last week the kind of activities that were taking place in presidential meetings in Kericho and Bomet. We made it clear that that will not be countenanced. So we are not, as we are not part of the political discussions, our work is to secure the nation and make sure that everybody follows the law, and people who transact their political businesses, economic businesses, do so peacefully.
Now we are continuing this panel discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, you have listened to the statement from Kindiki in reference to those who are disagreeing with the William Ruto. He's referring to them as goons. He's referring to them as criminals. He's referring to them as hooligans. So, if you attempt to disagree with William Ruto, whether he's telling you the truth or he's lying to you, that's how you're going to be labeled, and that's how you are going to be arrested. That means you have to agree with every statement that Ruto will bring to you in his event, whether he's right or wrong. The only thing you have to do is to clap for William Ruto and welcome his statement the way he has just packaged it. You attempt to disagree with him, you are a criminal, you should be arrested. Imagine, look at this statement from a professor of law, Kindiki, a man who understands that Kenya is a democratic country and there is that freedom. You cannot agree with everyone. You have a right to disagree with the people you think you are not with the same ideology, and above all, there is no right to believe in lies. It's not our right to believe in lies. It is our duty to disagree with every wrong statement, with every misleading statement. But Kindiki is giving an order here. So with this move, we are seeing a return of Moi era under William Ruto's administration, whereby you can never disagree with the president. The only thing you have to do is to clap for him when he is wrong and when he is right. That's where Kindiki is taking us back to. These people are not asking themselves questions. Why is it that they are facing heckling in their events? Why are they being heckled? Why are their own events being disrupted? Those are the questions they need to ask themselves. Where did they go wrong? Was Ruto lying to the people, or he was saying the truth? What about these other leaders elected in UDA ticket? Now you are saying that some individuals are disrupting president's event, when we know very well that Ruto goes to an UDA zone, then a governor takes a microphone to speak, he's being heckled. Who planted hecklers? Who sabotaged them? At one point, Sifuna told these people that in 2027, it will not be Raila Odinga who will be opposing them. Those people who voted for this regime, those who have suffered for too much taxes that they have been put on them, they're the ones who are going to go to the ballot and protest against William Ruto's leadership. Sifuna was right, and it is already happening. It is the electorate who are heckling Ruto. It is the electorate who are trying to disagree with William Ruto and his allies. Because you cannot go to the parliament, you vote for a bill that you know that it is not in my interest, then you come back in the village to tell me that you are going to negotiate with the president, that you will check into that bill, that you do not agree with the bill, when indeed you casted your vote in favor of that bill. In that way, you're not convincing me. So there is no way you will come with William Ruto in my own village and try to convince me to believe in your lies. That is not going to work. Someone should remind Kindiki that heckling for William Ruto is going to continue as long as he's not serving the interest of the people. When you concentrate on your own personal interest, when you have been elected in the office and you get there with the idea of entrepreneurs, you refuse to become a leader, then heckling is going to continue. Let Kindiki remind William Ruto and Gachagua that there will be no heckling at Harambee House in his office. If you don't want heckling, let him go and sit down in the office and work for the people. There will be no heckling there. But as long as it's going to engage us in political rallies, you cannot control a political rally, especially when you have packaged your information full of lies. That's how UTI has packaged themselves. They come with full of lies. then you want to convince us. It's no longer even convincing. They want to confuse us with their own lies. It's not going to work. So the anger we are seeing in the face of Kindiki, it tells you a lot. That now they want to force people to consume everything they are giving to them, whether it's poisonous or when it's right. It cannot work this way in a democratic country. Hiyo peleka kwingine, lakini hapa Kenya, people are going to disagree. And when you bring in the issue of people organizing goons to come and disrupt Ruto's events, you are trying to shift a blame elsewhere when you know that you are very wrong. The blame should be shifted direct to Ruto, Gachagua, and the Kenya Kwanza administration, because they are the ones who are coming up with the policies, and they are the ones who package lies, they bring it to us. They are the ones who forced some people in various regions to vote for this governor that they are now rejecting. So if Ruto campaigned for someone, then the electorate was convinced to vote for that person, and they discovered that the person Ruto presented to them was not the right leader. He's failing them on the ground. He's not delivering. Then they start heckling the same person. What's the problem? Wewe ulituletea candidate, ukamkampainia, tukakubaliana na wewe, tukampigia kura. Sasa tumegundua huyu mtu hatufanyii kazi. Alafu tena umekuja na yeye, unakuja kutupigia kelele in the name of campaign rally and launching hot air project. What do you expect the electorate to do? They will exactly do that which Kindiki is warning them. They are going to heckle these leaders. They will disrespect William Ruto in his face. Yeye ndiye alileta hao watu akasema pigieni gavana wa Kericho kura, pigieni gavana wa Bomet Branchok kura. Akienda Bungoma kule wakakampenia watu wa Kenya Kwanza. What do you expect? What was happening in Mount Kenya? The legislators voted for some bill that has now become a thorn in the flesh when it affects avocado farmers. Today they are now back telling the people that we will talk to the president, we will try to sort this one out. And you voted for that? How do you want to talk to the president when you are part of the mess? You had time on the floor of the house to convince other legislators on the reason why they should not vote for that bill. But you are in front line voting for that because you feared William Ruto. Because you feared Ruto and you voted to embrace him. People are going to heckle you in the same event organized by William Samoei Ruto to tell you that we are not with you. So, in all this, we are seeing panic in Kenya Kwanza, and that's why the CS is organizing press briefing to warn and address Kenyans on the same. This is a sign of panic.